Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a wrestling ring. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, I would highly recommend checking out the card system, because in there I'll be leaving links to loads of videos and playlists that I think that you guys might really want to check out. But moving on, if you want to make the wrestling ring, here's what you're going to need. You will need some red stained clay and some cyan stained clay. Flip over, grab yourself some black wool, grab red wool, white wool, and finally grab yourself some white carpet, and those are the only materials that we'll be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your ring with a row of 6 black wool coming directly up from the ground. That's 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then take this 6th block and go right of it by 26. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Then connect that 26th block all the way down to the ground, like this. So you want a long rectangular shape, like that. That's perfect. What we now want to do is this. We now want to take those top 2 corner blocks that we have, so blocks number 6 and blocks number 26, and we want to extend them towards us each by 26. So the first one, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and then we can connect that down to the ground. And we also have to do the same over there, but what we can do is we can take this 26th block and we can drag it over to the right, and we can match it up with that original 26th block that we placed, and I believe that we've just about got it right. So we now just want to take this 26th block and we can now drag it towards us, and we can conjoin it to where we were just building. So to save us counting out another row of 26, you guys can see that we kind of took the quick option instead, and we have something which should look exactly like that. Now, once you have that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So we now have to figure out which side of this ring is going to be the front and which side is going to be the back and all of that fun stuff. So it does matter a little bit just because there's different graphics on each one of the 4 sides of the ring, but I guess it doesn't matter a massive amount. So for instance, this is going to be the front side of the ring for me. This is the front side. Once you've figured that out for yourself, and it can be any one of the 4 sides, you want to come down to the bottom left hand corner of the front side of your ring, and starting from this empty bottom left hand corner space, you want to place a red stained clay going right of this bottom block. You then want to place a cyan stained clay, then do up right diagonals with your cyan stained clay until you eventually reach the top part of the ring. Then take this cyan stained clay that reaches the top of the ring and go right of it by 1 with your black wool, then by 1 with your red. Take this red wool and extend it all the way down to the ground, like that. Then take this top block that we just went down from, go right of it by 2, 1, 2, go down by 1, do a bottom left diagonal, followed by a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 1. We should have made the letter R. We're going to be writing raw. Once you have that, we now, starting from that bottom block again that just hit the ground, going right of it, do a black wool, followed by a red wool. Connect that red wool all the way up to the top of the ring. Then from that red wool, go right by 2, and then go down until you hit the ground. Then, 2 spaces away from the top, do a red wool horizontal to connect both rows together to form an A. Then 1 row away from that A, so you can just do an entire row of black going right of that A, we now want to do the W, which does look a little funky, but we want to do a vertical row of red wool. Then we want to take this second to bottom block and go right of it by 2, go down from it by 1 and up on top of it until you hit the top of the ring, like this. Then starting from the bottom right hand corner block of the W, this one right here, we want to go right of it by 1 with the black wool, 1 with the cyan stained clay, and then we want to do upper right diagonals with the cyan stained clay until we eventually reach the top part of the ring. So we want to have something which should look like this, and just in case you guys are wondering how this is eventually going to look, so what we'll be doing is inside of the left and right hand sides of the ring, so like inside of the inner quarters of the cyan stained clay parts of the ring, we'll be filling these in with red stained clay. Everywhere else, black wool. Pretty easy actually, there's not too much to it. And this is one of the harder sides of the ring, but it's not the only side that we'll be doing this on. So not only are we going to be writing raw on the front, but we'll also be writing it on the back. So really, I suppose that the front and back of the ring are kind of interchangeable, as they are the same, and they'll end up looking a little something like this. So there you go, you have raw, that's on the front. Why don't we go and do the same thing on the back? So we'll quickly come and do the same thing on the back. So we're on the back here, and we are doing the same process again. Starting from the bottom left hand corner of the back, we want to take this block and go right of it by one with the red stained clay, one with the cyan. Do up right diagonals with the cyan until you hit the top of the ring with your cyan. Go right of that cyan block by one with the black, one with the red. Connect the red down to the bottom. Then take the top block of the red, go right of it by two, go down one, bottom left diagonal, bottom right diagonal, down till you hit the ground. That's an R. Then one space away we want to do the A, so starting from the bottom we want to do a black wool on the right, then a row of vertical red wool, still going right. Take this top block, go right of it by two, then connect it all the way down to the ground. Then 2 blocks away from the top we want to do a red wool to form an A shape. We then, one row away going right from the A, we want to do a row of black wool, followed by a row of red. We then want to take the second to bottom block here and go right of it by 2 with the red, down by 1, but also go up on top of it until you hit the top of the ring. That is the W. Then starting from the bottom right hand side of the W, we want to go right by 1 with the black, 1 with cyan stained clay, then do up right diagonals with your cyan stained clay until you hit the top of the ring. We can then of course just fill the rest of this area in with the necessary components, so we'll do like the right and left hand sides, those will be filled in with red stained clay, and the middle bit, the big center bit, that will just be filled in with black wool. And that's pretty much all there is to it. That's the front, that's the back. If you want to, and I'm not going to be doing it because it didn't seem that way on the actual rings, if you want to, you can write raw on each one of the 4 sides. It doesn't really make a difference to me, but it might do to you. So you can do that if you want. But on the last 2 sides, we're not going to be writing raw, or at least I'm not going to be. Once you have both of your 2 sides of raw, so that's like the front and that's the back, we're now coming to these sides here, and all we're doing on these last 2 sides is, remember that like zigzag pattern that we have on the left and right, on the front and the back? That's all we're going to be doing. So we're not going to be writing anything out, we're just having the zigzag pattern. So we're on the left hand side here, starting from the bottom left hand corner of the ring, we're going to go right by 1 with the red stained clay, 1 with the cyan. Then we're going to do up right diagonals with the cyan until we eventually reach the top corner. We're then going to come all the way over to the opposite side here, and starting from going left of this top right hand corner block, we're going to do 1 red stained clay coming left, then 1 cyan stained clay, then we're going to do bottom left diagonals with the cyan stained clay until we hit the ground. We can then fill the insides of those like jagged shapes that we have on left and right, those zigzag shapes, more like triangles really. We can fill those in with red stained clay, and then the rest of the area that'll be filled in with black. Not only will we do this on the left, but we will also do it on the right as well. And that's one of the harder parts of the ring taken care of. Once we've got that, to be honest with you guys, that's one of the harder parts. The only bit that's left, of course, we've got to do the big giant white bit, which you would actually wrestle on. That's the top empty bit. I guess like, I don't even know if it's soft, to be honest. I've never stood on one, but I guess it's kind of like, it's got to be a little bit of a springy material up on top. But there we go, we have the left hand side of the ring taken care of. Let's go and do the same thing on the right. So we're on the right here, yeah. Starting from the left hand side, we want to, from the bottom left hand corner, do a red stained clay going right, cyan stained clay, then do upper right diagonals with the cyan stained clay until we eventually hit the top of the ring, like that. Bloop. Then we come all the way over onto the right hand side, and then starting from the top right hand corner here, we go left by 1 the red stained clay, 1 the cyan, then we do bottom bottom left diagonals with the cyan stained clay until we eventually reach the ground. We can then fill the 2 jagged areas in with the red stained clay, and then all of the other things that we've talked about. You guys know what we're talking about. We're then going to, actually we won't do that, we'll do that later because I don't think I'll do it on recording. We're going to then do like the posts of the ring, the things that kind of like the things that talk, all of the big giant elasticy string things on the ring. You guys, the ropes, that's what they're called. The things that talk like the elastic rope things. That's what we're going to be doing next, and then we'll fill the center of the ring in. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like that, and that's perfect. So if you want, you can make each one of the 4 sides of the ring like that, or you can have it how we have it, or you could write raw on any one of the 4 sides, kind of up to you. Anyway, once you have that taken care of, guys, this is what you're going to want to do next. So, take out your black wool. On top of each one of the 4 corners of the ring, and this is each one of the 4 corners of the ring, we want to go up by 11. So with the black wool on top of the corners, we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the same for the others. So that'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we do have to count this out, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Already tired of counting. We'll have counted to 44 in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we want to have something which should look like that. Now we have to connect each one of these together, and it's actually pretty simple. So here's how we want to do it. We want to, and let me just make sure that we get this right, guys. We do want to make sure that we get this right, don't we? We want to, starting from the very bottom of any one of the 4 posts, it doesn't really matter. Starting from the bottom, we want to leave a gap of 3, and that's quite important. So we want to leave a gap of 3, starting from the bottom. Then, kind of like coming inwards diagonally towards the center of the ring, we want to place a cyan stained clay. So we're in line with the 4th block. We have left a gap of 3, cyan stained clay in line with the kind of like coming towards the diagonal part of the ring. What we then want to do is connect each one of the 4 posts together with a row of red wool. And it wants to look a little something like this. And can you guys see how we're doing this? So it's kind of difficult to explain, isn't it? But they're just connected from diagonal cyan stained clays that come in from each one of the 4 posts. They are 1 block into the ring like this, and they are 4 blocks away from the actual mat. So you guys can see how we're kind of arriving at this. You guys can see how we've kind of placed this, and it just forms like the first set of ropes, like so. Now, once you've got that taken care of once, we now actually want to do this 2 more times. Except this time, we only want to leave a gap of 2 between the next 2 sets of ropes. So, on top of each one of the cyan stained clays, you can kind of like do 2 white walls, and then an additional cyan stained clay. And then you can do the same thing. So just make sure that you leave a gap of 2 on top of the cyan stained clays, and then you just want to mirror what you've already done. And you just want to make sure that the cyan stained clays are placed in the corner from the post coming towards the center of the ring. And you want to just have the rope coming all the way around the inside of the ring. If you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. It's pretty simple. And we're not only going to be having 2 sets of ropes. No, that's crazy. Of course that's crazy. We're going to be having 3 sets of ropes. So once you've done that twice, we now want to do this once more. So once again, leaving a gap of 2. So we're just leaving a gap of 2. We're going to be doing the same thing again, and that should, if everything's been done correctly, that should leave us 1 block away from the very top of the posts. It doesn't want to be in line with the post, so in line with the top of the post. It doesn't want to be 2 blocks lower. It doesn't want to be higher than the post. It wants to be 1 block lower than the actual post itself. So we're just going all the way around here, and we're going to be doing the final set of ropes. So, cyan stained clay in the corner, red wool everywhere else. And once we've got this taken care of, we'll have done the hard parts of this. All of the hard bits will be done. So we want to have something which should look a little bit like this. You can see we have the ropes. What we now want to do is this. So take out the black wool, and either side of the cyan stained clay, you want to place like black wool. So on the outsides, you can kind of see we now want to kind of have like black wool gripping the cyan stained clays that kind of hug onto the rope. So we just want to have black wool on the outside of those. Plus, what we are also going to want to do after we've done this, we're going to want to reinforce those posts because they look a little bit flimsy right now, don't they? Would you describe them as flimsy? Because that's the word that I'd use. Also, I like the word flimsy. I've just discovered that. That's I kind of like the word flimsy. We'll be reinforcing those posts. Then we will be filling in the center of the ring, the mat, in with white. So once you kind of reinforce all of those posts, what we now want to do is we want to, on the outsides of each one of those posts, we want to have 3 rows of black wool. So going all the way around the outside, we want to add an additional row of black wool for each one of the visible sides of the post. So you can see we've turned that 1 row of black wool, which was a post, into 4 rows. So we want to do that to each one of them. That just makes it look a little bit bigger. It just makes a little bit more sense. It kind of adds a little bit more depth to the ring, and it just looks better, really. That's the main motivation for doing this. It looks a little better. And once we have that completed, the only thing we'll have left to do after this is we will have the actual mat to do in the ring, which is actually really, really easy, and I'm not sure that I'll be doing it on recording with you guys, but we'll just be filling in the top center part of that ring, and we will be using white wool for that, and on top of that we'll add a little bit of white carpet, which is kind of optional, just to give it a little bit of an added, kind of like a bit of an added perspective, a bit more 3D, but this is what you want to have for each one of the 4 ring posts. Those are the ropes, that's the base of the ring. I think we're looking pretty good, and the last thing that we'll want to do, which I just discussed, is just to fill in the center part of that ring, the top center part of that ring with white wool. That's all you have to do, white wool. And if you so choose, and I'll show you this in just a second, and if you so choose, you might want to add a layer of white carpet on top of that. Now, the difference is subtle. The difference is really subtle. You might even argue that it's not necessary. It's not. It's really not. But on my ring that I actually filled the top center part in, I added a layer of white wool, and it just adds that kind of like, you know how the ring is. It comes up a little bit. It's a bit more 3D. It's not just a flat white surface. That's what the white carpet's for. You guys, of course, can do whatever you like. However, this is going to take a while to do. And we've reached the end of the tutorial at this point, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out, and we're going to return with the finished product. We're going to return with a 100% fully completed, finished wrestling ring. I'll be back in just a moment once that's done, and remember guys, all you have to do, fill the center part of this thing in with white, add a layer of carpet if you so choose, I'd recommend it, and you'll be done from there. Back in a mo. And there we go guys, that is what the ring should look like once it's been 100% fully filled in with white. And remember, we have also added the layer of white carpet directly on top of it. Ignore all of those things in the background. We definitely didn't just swap worlds and come to my original version of this ring, which is identical to the one that we've just made. I would never do that. That would be cheating. That would be cheating. Anyway, that is the ring, 100% fully completed. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you've managed to make it. I don't think it's been too hard. If you've done both of those things, please give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out. I would always really appreciate. I've been checking out your guys' comments, and it's quite obvious that you want me to make a couple of wrestlers. I think I might make John Cena, and we'll see where we go from there. I might make a John Cena statue, see how you guys like it. So, if you like this video, like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind, comment down below what else do you want me to make next. I'm thinking John Cena statue, some other things, you guys might see some things in the background, things that have been cooking. Check out the card system for other videos and playlists that you might really want to check out. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Like, favourite, share, card system, comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Dun, 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 dun.